Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest forecast heading into this Friday. Well, we had a wide range in temperatures yesterday, 37 in Marysville, but up to 55 in Emporia. That's even after the morning fog. A little bit more clear skies by the afternoon compared to areas further up to the north. Unfortunately, now everyone's going to be stuck in that cloud cover our northern communities received yesterday all day, and so that's really going to keep those temperatures on the cooler side, mid to upper 30s for most areas. Then some lucky areas back in the low 40s for this afternoon down to the south. So it's going to be kind of a dreary day, and with the northeasterly wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, that does mean wind chills closer to 30. So just kind of a dreary, chilly, seasonal, early January day. But then temperatures warm up, so good news. We have temperatures that are going to be in the mid to upper 40s tomorrow, a little bit cooler out towards the Missouri border as the cooler air mass is still exiting the area at that time. Much warmer out to the west in the 50s and 60s. And then looking ahead into Sunday, highs will be in the low to mid 50s, upper 40s along the Missouri border, and then 60s and maybe even 70s out in western Kansas as that milder air. And I don't think it'll be that warm, but at least some of that milder air will make its way into our area for the upcoming work week. We'll take a look at that in the 8-day in just a second. But as far as precipitation is concerned, mainly it's going to stay north today into tonight, but there is a chance some isolated activity does push through our area this evening, for the most part along the Nebraska-Kansas border, but a very low chance that some other areas could get some isolated activity across the area. It's not going to be very impactful. Certainly by no means is it going to be measurable to the point of most spots will get just a couple hundredths of an inch, if anything at all. Most of the accumulating activity stays up to our north, but just something that we're going to be keeping a close eye on for later on today into this evening. So keep checking back in daily keep checking back in throughout the day today for updates. Of course, always keep checking back in daily for updates on the forecast in general, but as far as that precipitation opportunity is concerned, we'll be monitoring that closely, especially by this evening. Otherwise, for tomorrow, there is some uncertainty in the models on how quickly clouds clear. Some models already have us clear at 8 a.m. This model is still getting us cloudy skies, and then generally mostly clear by noon, and we'll continue with the clearing skies through the rest of the afternoon and evening hours. So that'll be something to watch out for there too, which could also have an impact on how warm it is able to get tomorrow. But then we have some cloud cover on Sunday, but winds will be out of the south gusting around 25 miles per hour on Sunday, so that'll kind of help counteract the temperatures staying cool and warming us up in the upper 40s to mid 50s for much of the area. And you can see maybe clearing out just a little bit before sunset on Sunday. So we may end the day completely clear once the sun goes down. And then taking a look at the 8-day forecast. So we have several areas that may be in the upper 20s over the next couple of nights. Maybe mid 20s, but I think for the most part it's upper 20s, if not low 30s. Of course, we'll keep an eye on the fog potential too tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I think once we get into next week, we're generally going to be in the upper 50s and low 60s. Could it be a little bit warmer? Possibly. Could it be slightly cooler because the clouds, especially Tuesday? It's possible, but I think for the most part, temperatures stay mild. I'm still keeping an eye on Wednesday night, Thursday. That's a little bit tricky. You can see that the European model over the course of the next 8 days is not showing very much. So if I were just based off of my forecast on the European model, I would not have a rain chance in the 8-day forecast there on Thursday. And then even beyond that, through next Sunday, still nothing. So obviously, very little snow. You can see that trace to 1 inch in southeastern Nebraska and extreme northeast Kansas. Closer to the trace, though, here in Kansas, that would be from that activity by this evening. All right, so let's take a look at the GFS. It's not showing much now. It was in the previous computer model run, but this is the updated version, and now it's not really showing anything. I'm still going to go with that rain chance, but obviously there still remains big uncertainty. And then looking ahead into next weekend, now we're getting some precipitation in the area. This is going to be interesting. 2 of the 3 models have us getting colder air during the course of next weekend. So that precipitation could be in the form of snow, especially from Topeka to the northwest. Areas to the southeast of the Turnpike not getting very much. So that's definitely going to be part of the forecast that we're going to be monitoring closely. We have the wetter than normal conditions in the 6 to 10 day outlook, a little bit darker green compared to the 8 to 14 day outlook, which means higher probability of wetter than normal conditions in that time frame. And that's going to be a time frame to watch out for, the end of next work week into the weekend. And then with that precipitation possibility, what will temperatures be like? And that could ultimately be what decides precipitation type. So it's going to get more interesting as we get into that, I would say, in that 6 to 10 day outlook. Certainly, that would be very interesting to watch out for. But until then, other than very, very, very light precipitation this evening, mainly along the Nebraska-Kansas border, it's still going to be just enough to create a few slick spots out on the roadways. Of course, even the fog this morning could have create some slick spots on the roadways, especially with temperatures below freezing in some spots. That could also be a factor too. But I think as far as actual measurable and meaningful precipitation, that starts in that Wednesday night, Thursday time period, and then perhaps returns again as we get towards next weekend. So stay tuned. Have a great day. Stay warm today. Enjoy the warm-up for the weekend into next week.